Hi guys, welcome to Mr. Cloudbook channel. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about the GitLab CI/CD. And with the GitLab, we are going to provision some resources in our AWS console with the help of Terraform. First, let's talk about what is GitLab CI/CD. So GitLab CI/CD is a part of GitLab. Use it for implementing various continuation methods. So such as continuation integration and continuation delivery. So GitLab is also an CI/CD tool. GitLab CI/CD allows you to build and test and publish software without needing a third-party integration or application. So you can use GitLab CI/CD to find errors and bugs early in the software development life cycle. So SDLC, we are going to use that, right? Software development lifecycle. It helps ensure the compliance of all code you deploy to production with the standards established for your application. So GitLab CI/CD is also a part of integral part of GitLab, a web-based platform for version control and collaboration. It automates the process of integrating and testing and deploying everything. We already discussed about that. As like GitHub Actions, GitLab also provide the runners. So runners are agents responsible for executing the CI/CD jobs defined in our project. There are two types of GitLab runners. The first one is shared runners and second one is the specific runners. So we will discuss about the shared runners and specific runners. So you can see here, this is the blog, okay, for we are discussing in this video. So I will provide the what is GitLab CI/CD and with real-time example also. So shared runners, these are provided by GitLab and can be used by any project in your GitLab instance. So useful for small projects or when you want to get started quickly without setting up your own runners. So we can use the shared runners. So they have predefined environments and limitations on usage for the shared runners. For the specific runners, so these are runners you have to set up and manage yourself, either on your own infrastructure or cloud-based resources we have to use for our specific runners. So you have more control over the runner environment rather than the shared runners. So including custom configurations, and finally useful for the larger and the specialized projects. So that's why we have to use the specific runners. And in this project, we are going to use the shared runners only. For the beginners, we are going to do the project. So this is the first video on our channel. So that's why I'm not making any complex. So let's talk about the GitLab CI/CD real life scenario. So let's say you are a part of a software development team building a web application. Here is how GitLab CI/CD and runners can be applied real life scenario. Development. So first we talk about the development. Developers work in different features or bug fixes in their local environment. So each developer pushes their changes to the GitLab repository. So when the development is our developer pushes the code to the repository, so next continuation integration part will start. So GitLab CI/CD is configured with a .gitlab-ci.yaml file. Whenever a developer pushes the code changes, GitLab CI/CD is triggered automatically. So like in the GitHub Actions, it will automatically start the workflow, right? So like in the GitLab also, it will automatically triggers the job. Continuous integration stage runs automated tests and ensure the new code doesn't break existing functionality. This includes unit tests and integration tests and code style checks. So this will check everything. So it will test the code and it will run the code and everything. So it will check also. Shared runners provided by the GitLab are used for CI. They execute the test jobs, providing a scalable and cost-effective solution. So once this is done, so next we are going to do the continuation deployment. So assuming the tests pass successfully, the CD part of the pipeline takes over. CD can deploy the application to staging environment where it can be further tested by a quality assurance team. So this is the process will happen. The specific runners. So for more complex projects or scenarios, you might use specific runner hosted on your own servers for the deployment. For the integration test, we can use the shared runners or anything. So whenever you want to use the specific runners also, for the integration also, you can use the specific runners. For more complex projects or scenarios, you might use a specific runners hosted on your own servers or cloud infrastructure. So these specific runners can have configurations tailored to your project's unique needs. So that's why we have to provide specific runners. And once this is done, we are going to deploy our application to the production. So this is all about the GitLab CI/CD. In the first video itself, we don't have to go into the complex things and everything. So this is the project we are going to do. DevOps engineer, or we will push the code to our GitLab repository. So once we push our code, actual code, what we need and everything for provisioning of EC2 instance using the Terraform. After that, we will write a configure file for our GitLab. So it will start the build automatically whenever the file is completed. So in the GitLab, we were going to add our AWS secret key and access key. It will automatically provision resources in our AWS using the Terraform. Once the workflow is complete, it will store the state file into our S3 bucket. On the EC2 instance itself, it's going to install the Ansible using the user data. Once that is done, we are cloning a repository. I will explain the code also. So with the Ansible playbook, we are going to run the Jenkins on the same EC2 instance. So this is the project today we are discussing about. With the use of the GitLab CI/CD, we are going to do everything. For the prerequisites, we need S3 bucket and IAM user. And finally, we need the GitLab account. So let's go here, and you can see here already provided a simple. Think of a GitLab CI/CD as our personal robot helper for your developing software. You can easily understand that GitLab CI/CD and everything, and you can go through this particular points and everything. So in the simple words, GitLab CI/CD is a system that helps developers automatically check their code to catch errors, and if everything is okay, automatically release their code software without any manual work. So this is the process and everything. So first we need to create an IAM user. So let's go to the AWS console. So I will provide the timestamps also. You can directly skip this parts if you know how to create an IAM user and everything. So search for IAM and enter. In the left side panel, you have to click on users, and let's click on create user, and you have to provide a name. So for the GitLab that we are using, so just provide as a GitLab and provide access to the AWS management console. I want to create an IAM user, just click on next and attach policies directly. We already discussed about the how to secure our EC2 instance with the 20 steps. I already made a video. Please watch that video also. So because I explained how to add policies and everything, okay, for this now I am going to use the administrator access. Just for the learning purpose, I am going to use the administrator access only. So click on next, and you can go down and click on create user, and it will provide a CSV file, and if you want to download this one, you can download this one. So just we created a user only. So let's go back to the view user. So I want to see my user. So just click on continue, go to the security credentials and click on access keys here and create access key. Just select the use case as the command line interface and just accept the terms here and click on next and create access key and secret access key. These are the access keys and secret access for our AWS. Let's open EC2 in a new link. IAM user is created, and if you want to download the file, you can download it. However, I am deleting this one, that's why I am not downloading this file. So let's go back to the blog, and we created IAM user. If you don't know, I will provide the detailed blog also. You can watch that blog and create your user. For the second step, we need to create a GitLab account. So we need to go to the gitlab.com. So let's open a new tab and search for the gitlab.com and enter, and you will get page like this. You have to click on sign in here. So we can register the account. You can see here, if you don't have the account, you have to click on register now. So or we can directly create your account with GitHub also. This is the easy process. Just go on with the GitHub just go with the GitHub only. So I already have the account. Let me log into this one. So I'm logging in. This is the dashboard for our GitLab, and let's create a repository inside this one. Meanwhile, come back to the blog and let's see what is our next step. And you can see already provided steps also. You can click on register or go with the GitHub. The easy choice is to click on GitHub. It will create an account. So next, Terraform files. So create a blank repository in GitLab. So let's go to the GitLab and click on new project, or you can directly click on plus here. So create new and new project and create a blank project. So you can provide any name you want. So Terraform EC2 Jenkins, I am providing this name. So this is the name for my project, and let's make it to public and click on create project. You can see it's created a repository for me. So with the readme dot and everything. So Terraform EC2 getting started. So you can use these commands to push your files. So but we are directly adding the first video, and let's click on plus here and click on new file. For the file name, you have to use the main.tf name. For the content, just copy this content. Let's copy this one and come here and paste it here, and this will create a security group on our AWS console. So with inbound rules with the 22, 80, 443 and 8080 for the Jenkins. For the outbound rule, we are opening the all port, and this is the security group name Jenkins SG, and next we are creating the AWS EC2 instance. So this is the AMI ID available for our the Mumbai region only. You have to change your AMI ID if you use any other region. And next for the key name, you have to change your key pair here. So this is the thing you have to change. If you use any other region rather than Mumbai, you have to change the AMI ID also. And next you need to change the key pair. So nothing you have to change anymore. Just click on commit message and just added. You can provide any commit message here. So added main.tf file and just click on commit changes. So it will create a new file with main.tf. So our file is added. Let's come back to the Terraform EC2. So you can see our main.tf file is added just now. Let's add our remaining files also. Click on new file again. So name, for the name you have to provide the provider.tf. We have to provide the provider.tf also, right, to create in which region we need to create and everything. So let's come back here and just copy this one. So I provided everything inside the blog, and I will provide the blog link also in the description. So if you need to change any region, you can change it from here itself. So it will create the resources in that region only. So just click on commit message and let's remove this and added provider.tf file and click on commit changes. To store our Terraform state file inside our S3 bucket, we need to add the backend file also. Let's come back to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins. Just click on plus again and click on new file. So what is the file name? So that is backend.tf, and let's select this one. For the content, come back here. I already provided everything. So for the backend, first we will use this one. So next we will use this install jenkins.sh also. So come back here and paste it here, and you have to change your bucket name here. Let me remove this one. So I need to replace my bucket name here inside the bucket. Okay, come back to AWS console. So just click on S3, or you can search for S3 directly. So these are the two buckets I have available. So let me use this as a Mr. Cloudbook 777, or you can directly create a new bucket also. So let me use this one. So I already have a bucket. So let's copy this name. This is the bucket name. You have to copy it and come back here and you have to paste it here. You can see the name is Ajay Mr. Cloudbook 777 is the bucket name, and just click on commit message. And if you need any other region, you can change the region also. So just click on commit message and let's add a commit message also, added backend. So just click on commit changes. So meanwhile come here and go back to the EC2 also and come back to blog, and we need to copy this, right? So install jenkins.sh. So we need the shell script in order to install Ansible on our EC2 instance. Let me explain this one also. So exec, it will generate a file with the user data log. So whatever this, for this complete user data, how it's sending and everything will be stored inside this particular user data.log. So that's why I am providing the exec. So first we are updating the system, the EC2 instance. Next we are adding some software properties for our Ansible, adding the repository. Next installing the Ansible on our EC2 instance, and we are installing the Git also. So next we are making a directory, creating directory name as Ansible, and we are changing into cd Ansible and pwd. So we can see that it will print the working directory. Next we are cloning this repository. So let me show that repository also, what it contains and everything. So let's open a new tab and let me open my GitHub repository once. So it will open. So meanwhile come back here, and next we are going to change the directory inside this Ansible, and inside that Ansible folder there is the playbook for our Jenkins. So let's come back here for the Ajay 7 GitHub repositories. Go to the repositories and let's select this one. This is the Ansible we are using inside the project, inside the shell script. So you can see, just click on code, and I am using this particular one. So https github.com Ajay 7 Ansible. It's containing the Ansible Jenkins playbook. Just click on this one and you can see here, first updating the all packages, and next it will installing the key and adding the Jenkins repository. Next we are installing the 17th version of Java, and finally we are installing the Jenkins on the same EC2 instance with this playbook. So the same playbook we are going to run here. You can see, so Ansible -playbook -localhost. This is the same name for we are using the book. So just see the Jenkins playbook. and if you go back here, so this is the name Jenkins-playbook.yml. so this is the playbook, right? So let's come back here. So just copy this and copy the name also, Ctrl+C, and come back to the GitLab, come back to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins, just click on plus and click on new file, and what is the file name? install_Jenkins, right? So whatever the name that you are using inside your main.tf file, you have to use the same name. So this is right. So everything, this is the script, it will install Ansible and it will run the playbook. So just commit changes, so added. So everyone know the Terraform files and everything, that's why I'm not explaining briefly. Added installation script, so just click on commit changes, that is done. You can see installation jenkins.sh is done. And if you come back to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins, and you can see that our name is inside user data is also same. So you can see the shell script name as install_jenkins.sh. If you go to the main.tf file, and you can see here we are using the user data with the same name. So install_jenkins.sh, this is the name we are calling. So it will use that script to install Ansible. That's why we need to save the file with the same name, install_jenkins.sh. If you change any name here, you have to change your name inside our main.tf file also for the user data. So this is done. So now we have to write the GitLab cicd configure file to start our build and everything. So before doing that, we need to add our keys, right? So let's do that also. And if you go back to the blog, so we added backend and everything. You need to change the bucket name here. And first, next we need to set up the variables. So the variables means like we need to provide the secrets. So we need to save our secrets inside these particular variables inside the GitLab. GitHub Actions, we use it, right? Say actions and secrets and everything. But in the GitLab, we are going to provide our secrets inside the variables. So let's go to the GitLab, and if you come down here, and you can see there is a settings option at the end of this repository. So just click on settings, and if you click on settings, then you need to click on cicd. So click on cicd, and you can see these are the things we need to add. So general pipelines, auto DevOps, already I explained runners, right? If you click on expand, you can see the project runners and shared runners. The project runners are also called as the specific runners, and these are the shared runners we are using now in this particular project. So just collapse. And for the variables, we need to add the secrets. So secrets are stored inside these variables. Click on expand, and you can see there are no keys here. Just click on add variable and remove this one, protect variable, and use the mask variable. And for the key, first what we need to add, we need to add the AWS access key ID. So just use this one. This is the key value name, AWS_access_key_ID. So what is the value? So come back here, I created IAM user, right? So this is the access key, just copy it and come back to the GitLab, and you have to paste that one. So in the value, we need to paste that code. So just click on add variable, and you can see, so AWS access key is added. Now we need to add the secret key also. So add variable and remove this one and mask variable. And for the key, we need to use the AWS_secret access key. This is the name we have to use. And let's come back to the value, and you can see, so this is the secret access key. Just copy it and come back to the GitLab and paste it here in the value and add variable. I added the keys here, access key and secret access key. That is done. And if you go back to the blog, and you can see I provided the names also here and variables and expand. And you can use these names from here itself, and for the value and everything you can use this name also directly. So I provided the names, so don't worry about that. And you can see we added the keys and everything. So next we need to write the GitLab configuration file. So come back here to the GitLab, and let's come back to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins. So you can see here these are the files, backend and install everything. So just click on plus and new file. So for the GitLab cicd configure file, we have to start with the .gitlab-ci.yml. This is the name for our configuration file, and just you can use the template also, apply template. You can use these templates. You can directly use the Terraform and everything from here itself also, and you can see Terraform module and everything, but we are going to write that one. So first we need to write the stages. We need to provide the stages with the colon, enter. So we need to write validate and everything. So -validate. So this is the first stage name. So next what we do, once validate is completed, and we need to do the plan. So this is my second stage. And for the third stage, what we will do, so we will use the apply rate. So that's why I'm using the apply. And for the fourth stage, we are going to do the destroy. So these are the things we do, right, and the Terraform apply it. So first we will do the init, next we will do the validate and plan, apply and destroy. These are the 4 stages we will do for our Terraform. That's why I'm adding the same stages for my GitLab CI configuration also. So let's come down and come here, so to the stages. So remember the syntax format also. So now we need to use the image name here. So because we are not using any specific runners, right, to install Terraform on the EC2 instance, and we will directly use that one, and you can run the Terraform init and everything. But we are using the shared runners. That's why we need to install the Terraform on that EC2 instance. So that's why we need to provide the image name. So image name means it will use the Docker file. GitLab use the Docker images to run your complete process. So that's why we need to provide the image. So colon. So image name we have to provide, and for the name of the image, name colon. So what is the name? So we use the HashiCorp / Terraform and light image. So we don't use the lengthy one. So light is enough for our project. So this is the Docker of image for our Terraform. So this is done, and let's go down for our environment. We need to provide the entry point also, otherwise it will throw error. So entry point. So for the entry point we need to use this. So entry point hyphen, in single quotes we need to use the /user bin /env. We have to use this one. So let me explain what is this one and everything. So this image, specifies the Docker image to use for the GitLab runner, and we are using the HashiCorp Terraform Lite image for running our Terraform commands. The entry point line set the environment to include commonly used paths. We need to provide these paths for our Terraform to be run. So for the next we need to use the another path also directly in the single quotes. We need to use the path. So path, so equals to, we need to use the user. Next we need to use the local, the same paths. So last time we used the bin, right, user bin and environment. We need to use the user local as bin and everything we need to provide. So as bin is done, again /user /local. So this is the path we have to provide. So this is lengthy one, but we don't remember everything. I already provided this particular one. If you go back here to the blog, and you can see, if you want this one, directly copy this one, and you can see the path is same. So let me copy it, and we don't get any error, right? That's why I am using the copy and pasting for this one only, for this path only. So the same thing. So next we are using the image for our Terraform commands to run. So let's enter, and now we need to add the before script. So before, what we need to do every time, so we are going to AWS configure, right? So we need to do that in order to add our keys to this particular Terraform. And let me explain everything clearly. So this before script will run every time there is a script inside your stage or in the job. So let me make it clear. Once the one job is completed, so this before script will run every time before the script. Just enter. So we need to provide the -export command. So export, sorry, let me copy these lines also. I will explain clearly, so we don't waste the time. So paste. So this is the before script. So every time it will configure with your AWS key and secret access key. So that's why we are using the export command. And next we are removing the .terraform file, and we are seeing the Terraform version and Terraform initialize. So every time whenever there is a new job, like this is the stage, right? So for these stages we will write one job. So for every job it will run the script, before script. So let's add that stage. So before script is done, now we need to write the stages to run our code. What is the first stage? Validate. You can use any name here. So if you want to use the Terraform validate, you can use here. Not only the validate. So Terraform _ validate, anything is fine, and enter. So what is our stage name? Stage So this is the stage name. This is the name I use it for my stage. Just copy it and paste it here. So otherwise it will throw error. So use the same name. And next we need to use this script. So what is the script we will use? Terraform validate. So this is the thing we need to do. So you can see this is the script block, right? So whenever there is a script block is there, so before this particular script, these all commands will run. That's why we are using the before script here. So whenever the script block is there, then only these commands will run automatically before running the script. So let's commit this message and add it. So first we will see the Terraform validate and everything. If init is completed and validate is got succeeded, then we will move to the plan stage. So added the validate Terraform CI and commit changes. You can see here the GitLab CI configuration is valid. That means our file is working fine without any syntactical errors. And now you have to click on the build here. So you have to click on build and now click on the pipelines in the left side panel, and you can see we got the error. And let's go inside this one and you have to see what is the error and everything. And Terraform validate, let's go inside Docker mission and everything. Yeah, there is an image issue here. You can see I used a HashiCorp, not the HashiCorp. That's why it's getting the error. Let's go back to the Terraform EC2 and update that one. Sorry for the typo. So go to the GitLab CI and you can see here I used the HashiCorp, not the HashiCorp. We have to use the P at the end, right? So I use it D. So let's edit this one. So GitLab will automatically provide the pipeline editor and web IDE and everything. So just go with the pipeline editor and let's change the HashiCorp to P. So it's not finding the actual name of the HashiCorp. That's why it's throwing the error. So let's commit changes and you can see pipeline syntax is fine, and you can directly go to your pipeline from here also, or you can directly use this build and these pipelines and everything. You can come from here or you can directly use this one also. And you can see it's running fine now. So running, if you click on this running and you can see this is passed and Terraform validate is fine. So let's click on Terraform validate. You can see here that it's using the Terraform version 1.42, and so your version Terraform is out of date. The latest version, we can use the latest version also 1.63. So it's using 1.42 anything, but it's fine. And you can see here it's using the Docker image, HashiCorp file, pulling the Docker image first, and next it's exporting the AWS keys. That means it's doing the AWS configure every time, and it's removing the .terraform file, and it's seeing. Next we are running the Terraform version, right? For the before script we are doing these all commands. That's why it's running. And Terraform init, so it's initializing our backend to download every resource for our AWS provisioning. And Terraform validate, this is also fine. And let's add the next stage of plan. So next we use the Terraform plan, right? So let's go to the GitLab CI and just edit in the pipeline editor. So what is the next stage? So enter and enter, and let's come here. So every job should be started from the starting only. So let's copy this name and paste it here and use the colon. So it will also tell the error that's we are using the same name. That's why it's showing the error warning message. So let's remove that validate and change to plan here, and you can see the mistake gone and the warning is also gone. So just come down. So what is the stage we are using? The stage is plan, enter. So script, we need to provide the script, right? What is the command to run? So the command is Terraform plan. So in the GitHub actions we use run and everything, right? But in the GitLab we need to use the script. So Terraform plan, this is done, and you can see the stage here also. This is the stage that we provided. Let me show. So this is the stage, right, that we are using in the stages. So the same stage we are using here also. The label should be matched. And let me use the out file. So out, I need this particular Terraform plan out file also equals to tf plan So this will generate, this complete Terraform plan will generate, right? It will tell how many resources it will create and everything. So I am using the out. So this out means it will generate a file and a plan. It will save inside this particular tf plan file. So that's why I am generating this particular plan resources to save it inside this particular file, tf plan file. So let's come down. We need to save this particular file. So that's why we need to add the artifacts here. So let's use the artifacts. So provide the artifacts. So we have to use it here, otherwise it will throw error. These are not required as of now. Let's delete this and let's delete everything. So just need the artifacts and we need to use the paths. So use the paths. So what is the path we need to use? So I am saving the Terraform plan, right? So this is fine. So this job will run the Terraform plan command. So it will generate the resources that are provisioning from this particular Terraform files, and it will storing inside this particular file tf plan, and we are providing that one to a path also to save it here inside the paths. So it will store inside our main root folder itself. So just click on commit changes and pipeline is started. And if you go here, if you click on directly and click on the pipeline here, the id, so whenever the Terraform validate completes, then only this second job will run. So this is my so whenever the first stage completes, then only the second stage will start, right? You can see the Terraform validate is fine. And let's go to the Terraform plan. And let's see, we used the before script, right? So in the plan also it should be run the AWS configure and it should be run the Terraform version. So for the script block to be run, we used some before script. So let's see that for this job it's running or not. And you can see, so for the before we are running these commands, right? So before script we used these commands. So every time, so whatever the job is, right? So before, every time it will run all these commands. It will run the version command, it will initialize, and you can see here it started the Terraform plan also. And Terraform used the selected providers to generate the following execution. It's creating the EC2 instance, and you can see it's creating the security group and everything. So this is done. Now come back to the Terraform EC2. 2 stages is completed, right? As of now 2 stages is completed. And if you click on the right mark also, you can see how it's going and everything. We can directly go to the pipeline stages and we can see the jobs. You can see both the stages are working fine. We need to add the apply stage, and as well as we are going to add the destroy stage also. So go to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins. So go to the GitLab CI.yaml and edit in the pipeline editor. So every command is same, but writing of the CI file is different from the other files. So we are storing the TF plan and everything, and let's enter. So next stage is Terraform underscore apply and colon, enter. The stage, what is the stage name I used? Apply, right? So that's why I'm using the same name. And you can see here, this is the stage. If you want from here, just copy, and you can use the apply here. And next we need to come down and we need to use the script block. So script, so what is the command? Terraform apply to browser resources. And if you use the auto approve here, hyphen auto approve, it will throw error. So because in the GitLab cicd it will take only one hyphen. Okay, so we are using the only hyphen auto hyphen approve. So don't use the double hyphen. And what it will use, so it will use this particular tf plan file to provision our resource. That's why we are generating this file. Just copy it and paste it here, tf plan. So this is done. It will depend on, so always whenever the plan stage completes, then only this particular apply stage will run. So I have to add the dependency stage also. So just write the dependencies. It will depend on the plan stage. So whenever this plan stage completes only, then only this apply stage will run. So because we are running Terraform apply hyphen auto approve inside this particular Terraform plan, so we are generating a file, right? So if this particular stage won't run, means it won't generate any tf plan file. So then this particular auto approve won't work. That's why it will depending on plan. So that's why we need to provide the dependencies inside the apply command. Next we need to add the destroy stage. So let's write from the starting, and we can use the directly destroy. So destroy, you have to provide the column, otherwise it will throw like warning and everything. So destroy, and we are provide the stage here. So stage, so we already have the stage, right? Here we use it the stage name as destroy. Let me copy it, and you can add it here and come down. So for the script we need to use the Terraform destroy hyphen auto hyphen approve. So we have to use the single hyphen only. Otherwise, if you want to try, you can try also. That is also works fine. I don't know that because I use it this one directly. So when we need to run this job, whenever I manually wanted to delete the resources, then only this particular job will run. So that's why we need to use the when block here. So we need to write the when. So I have to provide manual here. This particular stage, destroy stage will run. So what if we run the apply command and the destroy command one by one? So it will provision the resources at the same time and it will delete the resources automatically. But we can't see the resources inside our AWS, right? So that's why I need to provide the manual. When, yes, so one equals to manual. So whenever I use the destroy command, so then only you have to delete the resources. Otherwise, you have to wait until my manual intervention. So that's why we need to provide the when command here. So like it's like a trigger. So we have to specify the trigger that job should be triggered manually by the user only. That's why we need to provide the when here. So what is the dependencies? Whenever there is a apply only, then only we have to delete, right? So whenever there is no apply, so there are no resources provisioned inside our AWS, right? That's why we need to depend on apply. So this should be depend on this one. So that's why we need to provide the apply and commit changes. Yeah, we got the error. Yeah, invalid Terraform apply job undefined dependencies. So there is no dependencies for plan. Let's see. Yeah, we have the plan. Sorry. So let's copy this name. So we have to provide the, I think we have to provide the job name. I use it the stage name, but I need to use the job name. So I need to use this one also. This one, the job name. Whenever the this job completes, it will depend on that job only. So you can see here now the pipeline syntax is correct, working fine. So just click on commit changes. I used it the last time I used it stages, that's why it's throwing the error, but we need to use this particular job name. So this is the job name, right? So Terraform apply, so it will depend on this one. So Terraform destroy on this particular job, Terraform apply job, and plan job. So apply will depend on this particular job. That's why we need to provide this name. And let's come here. If you click on this name, so view pipeline, and you can see Terraform validate is fine, and Terraform plan we already saw that one last. So we will see the apply command direct, and once the apply is completed, you can see that we don't get this green color mark. So it will show like a settings gearbox. So we have to tell that to destroy manually. That's why it's wait for our manual intervention. So we have to trigger by the user only. Let's make it clear. Once this is done, I will explain everything again. The complete code was till the end also. For the video, everything you can get the easy understand. And you can see a plan is completed. And if you go to the Terraform apply, it will run the again every command like Terraform init, export and everything. So because we use it the before script, whatever the commands we use it inside the before script block, it will run every time for the every job. And you can see the job is succeeded and AWS security group is created and instance is also created and 2 resources is added. And you can see it's fetching the with depth and everything. Yeah, you see here. So every time it's running all these commands and it's initializing and everything. And if you go back to the jobs here and go to the jobs, and you can see that it's waiting for your manual approval for the destroy. That is the thing. So go back to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins, and you can see clearly from the pipeline itself, and you can see it's saying that it's in green color. And if you click on this one, and you can see it's saying that gearbox with you can see destroy manual action is needed. So let's see whether it's created our resources, installed Jenkins or not on the EC2 instance. Let's go to the EC2 dashboard here, and just you can see here no instances is running. So you can see here there are no instances is running. Just click on refresh once. Now it's running the instances, and just click on this one, and Jenkins owner it's running with a T2 medium, and it's initializing. And let's see the security groups also, whether it's created our security group or not with the Jenkins SG name, right? So you can directly click on security groups from here, and this is Jenkins SG. It's open port 22 and 443 and 80 and 8080. That is fine. And go to the dashboard and go here, and let's connect to this one to the instance like putty. You can use putty or mobile extreme anything, but I'm using the EC2 instance connect. This is enough for this particular project. So click on connect. So you can see here we connected to our system. Clear the screen, and if you go to the root folder by providing cd/enter, and if you provide ls-l, sorry, I forgot to add the ll, or you can directly use ll, and you can see it's created the file now. So November 5, so this is today, right? So it's creating this particular Ansible folder. So we created the mkdir command, right? So if you cd Ansible, enter ls, we cloned the Ansible repository, right? That's why it's showing the Ansible. Let's go inside the Ansible, enter ls, and you can see this is the playbook, right? Let me cat it. You can see that also clearly. Cat Jenkins -playbook, enter. So this is the playbook that we are using to install Jenkins. So it's working fine. It's using the admin, it's using the git clone and everything. Our user data is working fine. And if you want to see the Ansible version also, you can see Ansible version, enter, and see Ansible is installed using the user data. So this is fine. And cd home and Ubuntu, come back here and clear the screen and change directory. So we stored it right user, we stored it at the var log file. We used the log, right? Enter ls. So this is the log file we are getting from the user data log. So we write this one, right, exec and everything to store our user data log. Let's cat it, cat user data, enter. And you can see installation of Jenkins is also completed. Installation of Java is completed. Installation of font config, Jenkins repo is added, Jenkins key is added, and everything is done. It's loaning the Ansible repository that from the Git. So let's copy the public IP address of this one. Just select this one instance, public IP, and open it in a new tab, and with the 8080, enter. So it will take some time, however, and you can see we got the Jenkins page, right? So if you copy this command and go to the connect EC2, clear the screen, use the sudo cat shift insert, enter. You are getting the password, right? Just copy it and you can use it here. On the same EC2 instance, we install Ansible. With the Ansible, we install the Jenkins from the GitLab CI/CD. So everything is working fine, right? Just close this one. Let's destroy these commands from the GitLab. So go back to the GitLab, and you can see here we are using the manual approval. So just click on play, and you can see here it's nothing doing. It's executing the job, and you can see it selected the destroy automatically. So because I used the when command, so whenever I use the play button, then only it will destroy the every resources that is generated, I mean provision. So go back here, it's still running because destroys will take some time, right? Minimum 1 minute or 13 seconds, or I don't know what is the exact time, but it will take minimum 1 minute 30 seconds, up to 1 minute 30 seconds it will take to destroy everything. Just click on running again. Let's see whether it's destroying or not. So because it will take some time, you can see here the resources are destroyed. So this is the manual approval we have to do. So if you go back to the EC2 and just refresh this one, and you can see no instances is found. So that means it destroyed everything. So from the GitLab CI/CD, we even provisioned the EC2 resources, and we install a Jenkins, and everything working fine. So go to the Terraform EC2 Jenkins here. So let me add one thing in the manual also, like in the apply command also, I will add the when command. So edit. So I just wanted to show that what this when command and what is this when line will do. Use the when command. So whenever I use the apply button, I mean manual, so this is right. So select this one, commit changes, and pipeline syntax is started and correct. And let's go to the pipeline, view pipeline. So whenever I provide the manual intervention of apply only, then only it will create our provision resources. Otherwise it will wait for our confirmation only. So I have to show the difference also. We can use the when command up to the apply and to the destroy also. For the both things we can use the when, manual trigger. So just refresh this page and you can see here both the apply and destroy will waiting for our manual action. You can see here Terraform apply manual action is required. So if you last time I used directly play button, but if you go inside this Terraform apply and you can select the apply or destroy command from here also, you can see validate, plan and apply and destroy, any stage we can use here. So after that, if you click on apply and click on run job, it will provision resources. The same thing goes for the destroy also. If you go back to the jobs and it will show the in the different way, I think now it will waiting for two way. So you can see this is the apply stage and this is the delete. So if you click on manual here and it will automatically select to destroy only directly. Yeah, and you can see the main is destroy. So you have to run this job. So you can use the manual when command also for our manual intervention to provision or destroy our resources. So this is done, right? So let's delete this IAM user and I will explain everything clearly, and go back to the users and select the GitLab and delete, and I need to provide the same name GitLab and delete the user. I don't need that anymore. So user is deleted and EC2 resources is deleted. Let's close one thing. So we'll close this one. So it will wait for our manual intervention and you can come back to the Jenkins and let me explain every code also from the scratch itself, and go to the blog itself. I provided every explanation in the blog itself, no need to worry about that. And you can see here we stored right our Terraform state file. So if you go here and let's go to the S3 bucket, I want to show Terraform state file also. And if you come back here and in the back end, you can see that we stored inside the directory of GitLab and Terraform state file. So if you go to the S3 bucket and if you click on as a Mr. Cloudbook 777, and it will automatically create the GitLab. So just click on this one and you can see last time it's modified at the 12.5 and now time is 12.10. So and come back here and you can see here I already explained every code and everything, don't need to worry about this. And you can see here, and this section defines the stages in the CI/CD pipeline in your configuration. Next we are using the ASIC image and we are setting the environment, and next every time it will run the script. So whenever there is a script flag, before that script flag, these commands or these all commands will run. So that is next validate is no, everyone knows that validate command and plan. So you can see that we are generating the file to the TF plan, and you can see runs the Terraform plan out, which generates a plan and saves it as a TF plan in the working directory. So in the working directory itself, it will download a new file. It will create a new file. So specifies artifacts. We use it artifacts, right? So specifies the artifacts output files of this job. In this case, it specifies the TF plan file should be preserved as an artifact. We are going to save the particular TF plan file as an artifact, and we are using that artifact in this particular apply stage. You can see auto approve. The file name is TF plan. So this job, the apply stage applies the Terraform plan generated in the previous stage, and script it will run the approve and it will provision resources which applies the changes and specify the TF plan. So whatever the plan command will run and which provisions the resources, that the resources only it will create. And dependency specifies that this job depends on the successful completion of the plan job. So whenever the plan job is completed, then only this particular apply job will run. So that's why we are using the dependency block. Next we are destroying everything, and you can see this script will run initialize and it will destroy the resources. And you can see when manual specifies that this job should be triggered manually by the user. That's why we need to provide the when command. So whenever we create apply command and automatically when we run the manual command, we don't write the manual command, right? So then it will create and it will delete the resources within the next second only. So that's why we need to provide the when command. So dependencies, it will depend on the job, and next GitLab CI/CD, the complete file, everything is here only. And you can see the stages and everything, the images of everything, and you can see here CD and everything. the log file, and we are getting that log file, right? So and we can see the password, and we are seeing this output also. So everything is done. So finally we are clicking on this particular one, and we are destroying this one by clicking on run job, and it destroyed our resources also. So everything is done, right? This is the complete GitLab cicd for the first video, and in the next video we can go to the further one. So we will move to the complex things and everything. So thanks for watching the video, and keep on supporting.